Golden Eagles of Boston College, coming up next on ABC. And the Golden Eagles of Boston College. Quarterback Doug Strang has been a key player as Penn State has rebounded from an 0-3 start to run off 5 consecutive wins. Quarterback Doug Flutie leads Boston College. Last year against Penn State, he had 520 yards, still lost. And he and the rest of the Eagles are hungry to win a big game.
NCAA College Football. This ABC Sports exclusive is sponsored by Chevrolet, official U.S. cars and trucks of the 14th Olympic Winter Games. Chevrolet and you taking charge. By the Pabst Brewing Company, brewers of America's finest quality beers since 1844. By Mr. Goodwrench and General Motors Parts. And by National Car Rental. Whether you're renting for business or pleasure, we give you National
State Nittany Lions, running off 5 consecutive wins, come into Foxborough, Massachusetts at Sullivan Stadium today against Boston College. 5-3 on a hot streak, wearing the traditional white road uniforms, black shoes. Some people call it vanilla, but let me tell you, inside those white uniforms are some football players who have their necks bowed and jaws set because they were not pleased for a 0-3 start. Joe Paterno is their head coach, and Joe Paterno has never lost a football game to Boston College. I'm Keith Jackson along with Coach Frank Broyles, our analyst, and behind us you hear the roar starting up for the Boston College Golden Eagles as they make their appearance into the stadium. And it's the first game that Boston College has played here in Foxborough since 1975 when they lost to Notre Dame by a score of 13-10. Frank, there is one thing that just jumps out at me. As I mentioned it very briefly in passing, Boston College has never beaten Penn State.
Well, Keith, that's the mental part of football that's very important. Penn State fans will come into this football game believing they're going to win because they're supposed to. Boston College will have some doubts. What can they do about it? Score first. Open up their offense with Doug Flutie, take the ball, stick it in the end zone, and that erases a lot of those doubts.
I think that's amplified, too, in the fact that Boston College losing to West Virginia by 10 points, had chances to score, didn't do it. And Jack McNell and his BC staff worried all week, in fact over 2 weeks, not having played, about the ball control potential of Penn State.
Penn State was successful last week against West Virginia. This is the biggest factor in the ball game. Can Penn State control the ball offensively? If they do, then they're going to keep Doug Flutie, the great All-American quarterback, over on the bench. Secondly, the yardage will give them good field position. And thirdly, the benefits will be very much psychological because Boston College can get frustrated, Keith. They can begin to double up to catch up and make mistakes, and this announce the score.
Now, BC has not played for 2 weeks either, where Penn State has been gaining momentum.
Well, that is a big factor. That happened to me in my last season as a football coach, 2 weeks off. It can be a big factor because your team is rusty. They're going to have to play and play themselves back into shape.
Windy day. Could hurt the kicking game.
It definitely will hurt the kicking game and the passing game some, Keith, but more than this, it changes your strategy. When the team is going against the wind, they play for ball possession. When they're going with the wind, they open up and go for the big plays.
It'll be an interesting ball game this afternoon. Boston College and Penn State, Sullivan Stadium in Foxborough. It is a windy day, but it is clear and it's quite cool, and we'll kick it off in a moment.
Makes the best-selling radials in America? Goodyear. We outsell all foreign radials combined. One reason, the Goodyear Arriva. It gives you long tread life. And best of all-season traction in the wet stuff and the white stuff. The Goodyear all-season Arriva. It's one reason Goodyear is the leader in radials. No foreign maker of radials even comes close. Goodyear, #1 in radials.
I think there's more flavor to it than other beers. I think Pabst is good beer.
Pabst is the place. Your good friends all around you for the real taste of beer. And all the good times you have here.
You know it's always going to taste good. That's what counts.
For the real taste of beer, Pabst is the place.
The
more complex the business.
Has never defeated Penn State. Lions are 11-0 last year. Doug Flutie had 520 yards passing, but still it was Penn State winning big. You can see the Lions start out losing to the prop up on it. We shall see. As Ken Bell and Tyrone Taylor, numbers 24 and 21, go deep to receive for Boston College. They won the toss. They're taking the ball early. They're going into the wind. And Penn State will kick it off with Greg Montgomery doing the kicking. There are more freshmen and sophomores on this Penn State football team than any team Joe Paterno has ever had. This kick will go way beyond the end zone and bounce up into the stand. And we'll look at Doug Flutie now out of Natick, Mass, who starts at quarterback, and he's an exciting player. Troy Stratford has recovered during the 2-week off period, getting over a knee injury. Jim Brown will start at fullback, though Bob Biestick will be in there some. Brian Brennan is a wide receiver at 5'10", 180. Gerald Phelan is a flanker at 6 feet, 185. And so we begin at Foxborough on a windy, cool October afternoon. Moving the big people around. Gieselman, the tight end, coming to the near side. And Flutie stands up on the first down. Throws quickly. Pass good. Gerald Phelan, number 20. As he gets the ball out near the 28. Second down, 2.5 coming up. And up front, it's Scott Gieselman, 6'5", 235 at tight end. Sean Regent at tackle, 265. Mark Bardwell at guard, 260. Jack Bicknell, the center, at 255. Glenn Reagan, the right guard, 255. And Mark McDonald, the right tackle, at 260. It'll be second down, short 3 for Boston College. They send Phelan in motion. And they run it with Stratford, cutting it back over the 30 and out to about the 33 for a first down. So at least there is some degree of success in the opening snap for BC. Penn State lines up with White, Caraher, Gattuso, and Sefter, the big people, down in a 4-man front. The linebackers, and they're all good ones, Alexander, Radisek, and Basiantano, number 84, with Sidnor, Fruhan, Hamilton, and Zordich in the defensive secondary. Their secondary hurt, no question, by an All-American Mark Robinson being hurt and being out for the season. Flutie back again on first down to put it up. Looking and looking and looking, looking and looking and looking. Now he's got to run it some, and he finds a little daylight and gets back just beyond the line of scrimmage. Penn State secondary that time didn't give him a thing. There was no blitz, no pressure particularly from the defensive front, and they just simply stepped back and they covered very well.
The last football team to rush, number 22, Doug Flutie, was Texas A&M, and he burned them for 3 touchdowns and over 300 yards. The reason is Flutie is such a good scrambler, teams are reluctant to blitz him.
It is second down and 9. The ball is on the Boston College 34. Just getting underway. Flutie still got it. Now finds a little crease and runs it across the 40 and up near a first down. He's going to be about a yard short of the first down. So it looks like Penn State has decided to cover and make Flutie handle the ball.
The rushing ratio is 3 men rushing, 8 defending, and with 8 men defending, as we watch Doug Flutie have no one to throw to, 8 men defending 3 receivers, the advantage lies with the defense. But there what Flutie has to do when they start in defend. He's got to keep the ball, either run with it, and be very patient.
Third down and 1 from the 42. Ball goes to Steve Strawn, and Strawn slashing over the right side behind McDonald, Reagan, and Gieselman has the first down for Jack Bicknell's Eagles.
There's Jack Bicknell, one of the finest coaches in the business. Very fine offensive football coach. Created an atmosphere for Flutie to excel. Flutie being 5'9", very good scrambler. As we look at Boston College NCAA statistics, they're 6th, 7th, and 8th in offensive numbers.
Ball is at the 49 of BC. First down for the Eagles. And Penn State still showing the 4-man front. So they are still in a covering posture. The pass is away. The pass good to Stratford coming out of the backfield. And Troy is knocked down at the 47 by Scott Radisek, a 6'3", 235-pound senior from Pittsburgh. Texas finally got on the board in a ball game down in the Southwest Conference. The Red Raiders of Tech giving them all they want in that ball game. And Auburn is leading Florida at halftime 21-7. The War Eagles got out quickly, 14-0 lead. And Georgia now leading Temple by 10. Temple is one of the teams that these two teams here today both played. Penn State beat them by 5, Boston College by 3. It is 2nd down and 6. From the 47, Flutie quickly over the middle, tight end, Gieselman, 1st down, Boston College, Penn State 37. And Flutie is now Boston College all-time leader in pass completions with 369.
One thing that Flutie looks for over the middle is a 6'5" tight end. Gieselman, you can identify him very easily. The tight ends last year, fans, caught 16 passes against Penn State for 320 yards. Right back to the well Flutie went.
Well, you're in this, the type of coverage that Penn State is in, Frank. That tight end dragging across the middle is available to you almost every time. Flutie going with it, goes wide with a pitch to Stratford. Stratford gets around the corner, turns it out of bounds. He had another yard of real estate on that side. He's going for a touchdown.
There's Troy Stratford, number 22. He was the leading rusher as a freshman last year. Now he has a 6.2 average, but the thing is, fans, he hasn't played since the 3rd game of the season. After the first play of the West Virginia game, he got hurt. His knee was injured, and he's back now well. Big factor in the ball game.
This past week in their practice sessions, Jack McBell said they really went at it, though. So they hammered on each other, trying to get themselves in game condition. It's a 1st down. The ball is near the Penn State 25. Pressure zone. Flutie's pass away. Good to Phelan. Flutie is nailed as he released the ball, but he pops up and helps the Penn State man to his feet.
Watch Flutie roll to his left. Now, Phelan is going to be out in the flankers covering 101. As the blitz was on, Hamilton was rushing. Look how wide open he is. You can see the secondary playing very, very deep. Sitter was way back. Too much of a cushion this close to the goal line, but Penn State has had trouble in the secondary, fans, and that's why they are playing so loose and careful.
Flutie is now 4 for 4, 31 yards. And it's 2nd down and 1 at the Penn State 16. 1st quarter of play. Opening possession of the game. Stratford goes in motion. They give the ball back to Brian Brennan. Reversing it right to left. And he's got the 1st down for Boston College.
One thing we should mention, the Penn State defense is not as dominant as we are accustomed to seeing in years past. For the first time I ever remember, the opponents have more offensive yardage than Penn State does in the first 8 ball games. Something very rare indeed. As we are noticing the Boston College team mixing up passing on 1st down and running on 2nd and 3rd down very successfully.
That's about the 12-yard stripe where Boston College has it. 1st down. And they've got Brennan now moving. Gieselman goes to the wide side of the field up the top of the picture there. And Flutie back to throw. Goes down the middle with it, threw it too high. Yet Stratford, Troy Stratford out of the backfield was open in the end zone, and the ball took off, and he missed him.
2nd and 10.
This is where, down close to the goal line, Boston College has had terrible times scoring. It leaves some scars, and Keith mentioned earlier they worked on this hard in the last 2 weeks to try to improve their punch when they get down there. But remember, fans, passing teams have a hard time sticking it in the end zone against a good defensive team.
They do have Bob Biestek at fullback. Bob is back from a broken arm.
He's 6'2", 240, so that should help him.
But they're lined up now in a one-back formation, which reads pass for them, though they don't do that. They give it inside to Jim Brown, the starting fullback. And Brown gets a couple of yards just over the 10 to the 9. So here they are again. They're looking at 3rd down and long.
Well, on 1st down is a good passing down against Penn State because they play the run first. They single cover the wide receivers. And they were open, and Flutie missed him in the goal behind the goal line for a touchdown. So we look at Joe Paterno, the real statesman of the coaching profession. Right now, the leading coach in winning percentage in America.
Ball is on the 10, where it is 3rd down. 3rd down and 8 for a 1st down, 10 for a touchdown. And Flutie straight back, no pressure, no pressure. He goes with it, end zone, touchdown. Brennan. a very, very important moment in this football game. Boston College taking the kickoff and right down the field, got it in the end zone, 13 plays and 80 yards for a touchdown. Here's the extra point try by Kevin Snow. It is good. So you've got 9 minutes and 23 seconds to play in the first quarter. And Boston College is impressive on their opening offensive possession to lead it 7-0.
A lot of good
Have not been consistent in doing against quality football teams. Their touchdown march, 6 passes, 7 runs.
When you give Doug Flutie this much time, fans, look to the left. Only 2 men rushing. Boston College has 5 men blocking. This spreads your defense. It's impossible to cover that close to the goal line with 2 men rushing. As you see, number 92, I guess it was, Fruhan was trying to cover him, but he was way late getting there.
John Williams and Kevin Bow are the deep people now for Penn State, as the kickoff goes high into the wind and is quite short at the 9 to John Williams. And Williams, the starting tailback, comes up across the 20 to about the 22.
Let's watch the strategy. Brennan is the split end, lining up at tailback. Fans, why is he lining up at tailback? He's going to shift over to the wingback position so that a linebacker is covering him. You get a physical mismatch. Number 41 is a defensive lineman. He's the one lining up in front of him. If Brennan, number 13, had lined up and split in, he would have been covered by the halfback. Look how wide open he is as Scepter gets completely lost on the play.
Yeah, Steve was standing over there yelling, help, help, help. But Brennan is so quick. First play for Penn State, a fumble. And Boston College had 2 people diving for the ball as Tony Mumford, the fullback, could not come away with it cleanly, and it's Penn State's ball. And Mumford did not handle it well, and it was almost a catastrophe for the Lions. Loss is back to the 17.
First play of the ball game. Mike Ruth is the leading tackler, number 68. Watch him use his hands. Coaches say he's the strongest player on Hayden, the center, strongest player that they've got, and the most intense player. You see him come in, watch him take that left arm and strip the ball out, and Penn State was very fortunate to get it back.
Looked like Mumford was late getting started, too, Frank.
It was a draw play, I think. He fake pass and run.
Strang now is going to put it up. Sets up a screen for John Williams, and Williams can't hold on to the ball. And so Penn State comes out jittery in their first possession with Doug Strang, a junior at quarterback from Linwood, New Jersey, 6'1", 201. John Williams, the tailback, is a 195-pounder. Mumford is 205 pounds at fullback, but quite quick. Kevin Bow, wide receiver, 5'9", 175, a great speedster, and one of the best in the country at wide receiver, Kenny Jackson, 5'11", and 175. So here's Penn State now, sitting on 3rd down and 16. Strang back to throw. Gets his pass away down the middle for Jackson, incomplete. Covering on the play, George Radachowski. The offensive front for Penn State, Kurt Bowman, tight end, 240. Ron Heller, tackle, 255. Todd Moles, guard, 255. Hayden, the center, is a 250. McGinnis, guard, 250. And Stan Short, 250. But Penn State now in front formation with George Reynolds standing to kick, averaging 44 yards. He's got a good strong wind at his back, some pressure on him, not a particularly good kick. Kicks it away from Brian Brennan, and the ball will go out of bounds up around the Boston College 43 with 8:09 to play in the first quarter. 41-yard punt. Boston College leads 7-0.
This is Mr. Goodwrench. Did you know the spark plugs in your...
Mass as Boston College gets the ball back, first down at their own 43. The temperature headed for the 40s and perhaps to the low 30s tonight. Cody sets him up. This time he goes to the run on the first snap on first down as Bob Biestek sticks his head in there for about 3. Right now, let's check in with Jim Lampley.
North Carolina has fallen behind at College Park, Maryland after the Tar Heel punter fumbled away the snap on their first punt attempt. Maryland took it in. Willie Joyner scoring on this 7-yard run. It's 7-0 Terrapins at College Park. Back to you, Keith.
Thank you, Jimmy. That's a big ball game being played in the Atlantic Coast Conference. North Carolina undefeated, second down 7. The pass over the middle. Flutie drills his man, and he can't come away with it. Intended receiver, the tight end, Gieselman, and that time Scott drew a crowd.
Keith was saying before the ball game, as we looked at the defensive coaching of the Boston College team, that if Boston College could score first and stop Penn State on their first possession, all doubts would be erased, and that's exactly what they did. Very, very impressive so far, the Boston College Eagles.
46-yard line, where it is third down and 7. That is an atypical number for a Penn State defensive unit right there. Not typical at all. And Flutie straight back. Gets his pass away, and the pass is complete to Phelan. And I don't know how he caught it, because Radisek was back there on the coverage, and so was Don Graham, but he drilled it right between them, and Phelan came down with it.
Phelan has got great hands, catches the ball in a crowd. As you can see, number 17, Hamilton, is right there. Radisek inside of him. The throw had to be right on the target. Phelan cradles it in for the first down.
Gerald's now caught 3 for 26 yards. Big numbers first quarter of play. Ball is at the Penn State 45 for the Eagles. And Flutie going right with it. Out it goes to Troy Stratford. Gets a block on the corner, gets to the 40. And Harry Hamilton, the strong safety, or as they call him at Penn State, the hero back, brings him down.
The Boston College coaches told me yesterday that if they could just pick their spot to run the ball, it would help their pass protection, their passing so much. The reason is that Penn State has to be able to play the run some, if otherwise they can just continue to drop back. Pick the spot for the runs. They've done a good job so far.
Second down, 5 from the Penn State 40. That's Phelan in motion, coming to the same side as Brennan. And Flutie looks that way, then goes back the other way, and it was a bad decision. Number 49, Carl Pelagata, the smaller of the tight ends, was over there. They were trying to set up a tight end screen, and Rogers Alexander read it and really drilled it.
Gieselman, Keith, hurt his ankle on that reception a little while ago and left the game. Now he's coming back in. Big target, 6'5". Very critical for him to be in this football game for the Boston College hopes and efforts.
Especially on third down and 5. Double wide to the bottom of the picture.
Here's the blitz.
Flutie throws it away. It was Radisek, number 97, coming after Doug Flutie full bore. He escaped the blocker and was home free, and Flutie just had to dump the ball, and so BC will kick it away.
Well, Penn State was very successful on third down with the blitz. You would ask, why don't they blitz more? The reason is they have a secondary that has very much problems against the pass, and they're fearful of getting burned.
Kevin Bow, number 11, is the return man for Penn State on the punt. The kick is very, very short and out of bounds. So it's a very poor punt by John Mihalik into the wind. And with 6 minutes and 10 seconds remaining to play in the first quarter, you've got timeout with Boston College leading 7-0. For Boston College, Thomas Harrington, Ruth in the middle, Swanky Lubischer, Diassi and Von Nessen are the linebackers. Radachowski, Russell, Pereira, and Thurman the secondary. That was a 19-yard punt. The ball is at the 21. Sprang gives it to John Williams, and Williams takes a wallop from Mike Ruth, the nose guard.
Ruth made a sensational play. He slanted behind the center, and watch it on the replay, fans. Take a look at it. Watch him slant to the left, and the center fails to block him, and the guard, McGinnis, tries to pick him up, but Ruth has the advantage on the side of the play, and he hits Williams head on right there for a short gain.
And at 255 yards, a big sophomore from Norristown, PA, turned John the other way. They give him a yard on the carry. And on 2nd and 9, Strang sets to throw, looks for Bow, goes to Bow, got him, and first down, Lions at the 40. Radachowski gave him a little cushion, and Kevin Bow is a very, very quick senior from Deer Park, New York.
Kevin Bow, number 11, returns punts, returns kickoffs, has 7 Penn State records, very, very quick. You can see he's wide open as Radachowski is giving him a good cushion. Number 15 and Thurman, number 17, help on the tackle.
That's 22 receptions for Kevin this year. He's averaging just under 16 yards per catch. And it's first down, Lions at their own 41. They trail 7-0. And it's Mumford, the fullback, and he's got a yard, maybe 2. Scott Harrington, defensive tackle, number 52, and Ruth, 68. Bring him down. It's still a close ball game between Texas and Texas Tech. The Longhorns had a lot of folks hurt going into that ball game. Georgia Bulldogs continue undefeated as they whip Temple 31-14. And SMU probably letting down a little bit after their loss to Texas. Syracuse and Pitt all even in the fourth quarter. Syracuse, the Orange, giving them all they want. It's second down, 8. Blitz is on. Strang gets it away in time. It is almost intercepted. Off the hands of the tight end, Kurt Pullman, and then off the hands of Tony Thurman. Thurman, the free safety, just had nothing between him except some artificial rug and a lot of fresh air.
You can see the blitz is coming, and Strang has to get rid of the ball a little bit early. Ballman was just a blocking tight end last year. The transition to being a receiver has been pretty smoothly, according to the coaches. Thurman had the ball for a moment, but couldn't handle it, and it goes incomplete.
And it's third down and 8 now for Penn State from the 43. Strang back. Over the middle with it. Incomplete. Pass intended for Kevin Bow. They go down the middle to the smallest guy on the field. 5'9", 175. Ivy League scores, games nearing completion, and some of them finished now. Harvard and Brown in the fourth quarter. It is punting time for Penn State. George Reynolds is in. First kick for the 41-yarder. Brennan. Holy Cross is undefeated. Crusaders a good football team. Not a good kick, but it's going to take a Penn State roll. With the wind at his back now, Reynolds has really not been able to get the ball up into the air. He's been able to get 41 and 40 out of the 2 kicks. And DC will have it first down at their own 18. You got 4 minutes and 13 seconds to play in the first quarter, and Boston College. Let's go back to the punt by Reynolds now. He's a fine kicker, but watch. The ball from the hand to the foot is going to be affected by the wind. The wind is that strong out there. And normally, Frank, that's where it's going to cause you the most trouble.
You can see that Reynolds drops the ball further than most kickers. He's dropping the ball about 2 feet. Most kickers try to drop it about 8 inches.
On the ground, Boston College attacks on first down from the 18, and Troy Stratford, a sophomore out of Linden, New Jersey, slashes up near the 30 for a first down.
Keith, that's the first run that Boston College has used on first down. They've thrown consecutively on every first down, keeping the Penn State defense off balance, picking their spots to run the football, and Troy Stratford really looks good so far in this ball game. Remember, fans, he missed 4 weeks of practice and games from the injury back against West Virginia.
Ball is at the 31 of Boston College. First down. Stratford 34 yards on 4 carries now. And on first down, it's Booty to throw. Looking and looking. Throws quickly over the middle. Brennan has it. And Bryan tucks it away for a gain out to the 37. ABC's NFL Monday Night Football this week. The Washington Redskins and the San Diego Chargers. It is still Air Coryell down in San Diego, but Dan Fouts is struggling with a rotator cuff injury and probably will not play this week either. Ed Luther will be in at quarterback for them. And of course, you pretty well know the story of how well the Redskins are doing this year. Second down and 4. He gives the ball to Stratford. A bit of a staggering start for Troy. He really didn't have good momentum when he got to the line of scrimmage, but still he struggles on and picks up about 3. Once again, here's Jim Lampley.
11 minutes to go in the fourth quarter in Austin, Texas. Not yet out of the woods. They just got a 47-yard field goal from Jeff Ward, but they've lost 2 fumbles and an interception. Still not moving the ball well. They lead 10-3 with 11 minutes to go. Now back to Keith Jackson in Boston.
Okay, Jimmy, the ball is at the 38. It's third down. They need 3. Need 3 to keep it. Strawn and Brown line up in the I formation. And Strawn has it, going for the corner, going for the marker, and he gets his helmet and the ball past it. Chris Sidner brought him down, but it's a first down for BC.
Strong is their short yardage designated hitter, Chief. He's a high jumper in high school, jumping 6'7", 205 pounds. He's a good leaper and good on short yardage, and he substitutes for Stratford on those situations.
Giaquinto goes out at wide receiver now, and Gerald Phelan comes back in. Gerard Phelan. And it's first down for Boston College at the 41. Flutie still got it. Pass down the middle. Good. Pass is good to Pelagata. And it's a first down Boston College at the Penn State 33.
Boy, Keith, Doug Flutie is a courageous young man. The coaches say you cannot intimidate this young man. 5'9", had a sensational career. He's moving outside to launch the ball from multiple points, upsetting the rush, but watch him drill the ball to the substitute tight end, Pelagata, who catches it, cradles it in for another big first down.
Flutie's 8 out of 12, 84 yards and a touchdown here in the first quarter with a minute and a half to go. And from the 33, he's going to put it up again. Gets pressure, goes deep with it in the end zone, and Brennan can't get it. Intercepted by Penn State. Mike Zordich, number 43, a big sophomore from Youngstown, Ohio, outreached him for it.
Zordich is a strange story. Fans, he was an outside linebacker when the season started. Now he's playing free safety and made his third interception of the season. You can see Brennan going deep, but Zordich, number 43, is going to out-jump him. He's got to come down in possession of the ball, 1 foot in bounds, and he does. Just a great play by the young sophomore free safety.
Very young football team. From the 20 now, the Lions will come up. They send Bow to the top of the picture and Kenny Jackson to the bottom of the picture. Mumford and John Williams are lined up, and it's Williams, the tailback, and the good offensive line surge as he comes across the 25 to about the 26.
Boston College offense has kept the ball going into this big win. Kept Penn State's offense off on the bench when they had the advantage. As we look at Mike Zordich, as I said, just a sophomore. Made an outstanding play, playing the ball at his height and coming down with a key interception.
Second down and a short 4 coming up for Penn State now.
And we see what an opportunistic team that Penn State has been this year.
They've always been that way. Fumble. Penn State gets it back. Number 58 covered at the center, Nick Hayden, when the ball fell loose.
That's twice that Penn State has dropped the ball, and very fortunate to come up with the recovery. As we look at the big offensive line that Penn State traditionally has. Let's watch the ball bounce out of Mumford. He's the same one that fumbled it early in the ball game. The ball comes out. Hayden, number 58, is right on top of it and beats...
I think Harrington put his helmet on it and knocked it out of there. Skeeter Nichols comes in at fullback now, blocking for Strang's pass downfield, incomplete. Bow had broken off the pattern and started to curl back. Jackson was going deep, and nobody was close to the ball.
What is Boston College doing, fans? They are blitzing 7 people on a critical down. Most teams will not blitz over 5 or 6. Boston College said to me yesterday, we're going to take chances. He blitzed 7, picked them up man for man, Strang overthrew the receiver.
He's 1 for 6 and 20 yards, and you've got 8 seconds to play in the first quarter. With BC leading Penn State by a score of 7-0. Second down and 10 for the Lions from the 30. That's Jackson, number 82 in motion. Strang gives the ball to John Williams, and Williams fights his way to the 35, close to the 36. Steve DiAssi and Paul Shaw bring him down at the end of the first quarter. So after 15 minutes, it's Boston College 7 and Penn State nothing. Well, the Duke Blue Devils got a win today over old foe Georgia Tech by 6, their first of the year. Into the ball game for Penn State now. The celebrated youngster, DJ Dozier from Virginia meets Virginia. 195-pounder, averaging better than 6 yards a carry. He's number 42. Skeeter Nichols in there at the linebacking position. Pressure on Strang. Passes thrown away, incomplete. And that is something that Boston College wants to do. They want to get after Doug Strang, and they got right in his face that time.
Steve Diossi, number 99, is a big linebacker, 240 pounds. You can see the all-out blitz, man. Here comes the strong safety, 41, Diossi, 99. The ends, everybody's coming. Let's see how much pressure Strang does have on him. Diossi just won't give up. Finally, others come in, forcing the bad throw.
And George Reynolds is in to punt into the wind. He gets it out and hits it very, very well to Brennan back at the 24. And Bryan is pulled down around the 30.
Fans, would you believe just how dominant Boston College was over Penn State? Take notice of all the numbers on the right. And remember that Boston College was going into the wind. Penn State had the wind to their advantage. What a great quarter Boston College had.
Ball is marked at the 29 for BC. They lead 7-0. And Doug Flutie brings them up with Beestick at fullback and Stratford at tailback.
Here comes the blitz by Penn State.
And he's checking it off. Give the ball to Stratford, and Stratford comes popping through the left side and then bangs into Carmen Masiantonio, middle linebacker.
Penn State has not blitzed very often this year for the reasons I've already said. Trouble in the secondary, and the reason is blitz are accompanied by man-to-man coverage, and Penn State has been beaten on that occasion, and they're very reluctant to do it. But it looks like they're going to have to. Don't you agree, Keith?
I think so. Stratford got it up near the 34. Second down at about 6. Jim Quinto is in, brought a play with him. Flutie back to throw, goes with it short, and it's incomplete. Hamilton covering Brennan on the play. Ball was on Brennan's hands, but Hamilton hit him hard and knocked it loose. Well, Navy gave Pitt all that Pitt could handle, losing by 7 last week, and in the third quarter, taking it to the world pretty well, with Alabama and Mississippi State locked up in a good one. And Tennessee beat Rutgers 7-0. Not a whole lot of offense in the ball game, but still Johnny Majors and the Vols will take it, I'll bet you.
It's an old saying, a win is a win is a win is a win, Keith.
Sir,
Any coach believes that.
One big today. It's third down. Long 6. Phelan going in motion and Flutie back. Goes deep with it. It is caught. That's Stratford. Foot race to the goal line. Touchdown. Stratford down there, you had Brennan down there. It looked to me like the ball went off the hands of quarterback Mark Fluhan of Penn State and fell into the waiting arms of Troy Stratford at 66 yards and a touchdown.
Well, Stratford, number 23, was very alert. He was behind the secondary. When the ball was deflected, he wrapped it up and ran the rest of the way for the touchdown.
Kevin Snow's extra point is good. Oh, at 13:55 to go in the first half, Boston College leads Penn State 14-0.
Let's take another look at it. Flutie's going to go deep. Now remember, fans, in college, if it should touch Brennan, it's eligible. 2 eligible receivers can catch the ball in college. I don't believe that's the case in pro ball, but college, if one of your receivers touches it, it can be deflected and another one can catch it for the completed pass. Let's see it from a different angle and see whether Fruhan, in fact, did, number 92, touch it, or whether Brennan, number 13, deflected. Brennan, number 13, it goes through Brennan's hands, I believe, Keith.
Yeah, both of them looked like they had a piece of it, and there was old Troy just waiting to take it home, and he did, and it's good 66 yards.
Here's Brennan. We can isolate on him and tell for sure if, in fact, the ball goes through his hands. Flutie puts it right on the money. As can't tell really who touched it, but who cares? It's a touchdown for Boston College. The Boston College fans certainly don't mind.
So Penn State falling behind early here, 14-0. There's Troy. in the opening kickoff against West Virginia, the only loss by Boston College, he was injured, knee and minor concussion on trying to return the opening kickoff, and he's just been able to recover and come back for this ball game. John Williams makes the catch in the end zone and will not return it, and Penn State will go to work from their 20. Well, it's one of those. I was talking with Joe Paterno earlier today, and he said there have been moments this season when it's been a pure joy because you really do have to coach in turning your team around, and it's been rewarding in the aspect of turning them around from an 0-3 start. But there have been other times when you feel like the sky is falling on you, and this could be another one of those days because a ricochet touchdown can be a demoralizing thing. So let's see what Penn State can do with it now as they fall behind by 2 touchdowns. This is Dozier, DJ Dozier, and he loses his footing. Might have tripped just short of the 30. Give him about 8 or 9 or 8 yards on that carry.
There's one player that's got the coaches and fans all excited about the future of Penn State, and that is DJ Dozier. That's what he's done so far this year. 677 rushing yards, 4 consecutive 100-yard rushing games. Just an outstanding player, fans. He's big, fast, loves to run with that football, and got good moves with it.
They've given him 7 yards on that carry. So it is second down, a short 3 for the Lions. Trying to throw it. Runs away from the pressure. Then falls down over his own man. Back on the 20. Todd Moles was trying to protect him. There was outside pressure coming from Mike Ruth and David Thomas. And Strang just ran out of room. Now Texas, that manpower, that deep bench that they have at Texas beginning to show up in that ball game, and Maryland is leading Carolina 10-0.
Keith, the Boston College defensive staff have done a magnificent job of keeping the Penn State offense off balance. Defending one down, rushing the next, and Strang seems confused so far in this game.
Third down and 10, Penn State from the 20. Has good time, throws for Jackson, and the pass is incomplete. Coming across, Tony Thurman. Thurman thought he had a chance to intercept it, but he and Jackson collided, and the ball fell away, and it's 4th down.
From behind the quarterback, fans, the thing to watch is Thurman breaking on the ball. Here's what every coach wants to see in a safety man. He's got his eyes on it. He comes up in front of the receiver and comes close to intercepting. Just a fine play by Tony Thurman, number 17.
Reynolds in to punt, 3. So far, he's done 41, 40, and 41. This is his 4th kick. Pressure on, he just barely gets it out of there. It was tipped. They flattened the punter, but the ball was tipped. And it's a 4 kick. And Boston College gets it after a 15-yard punt at the Penn State 36-yard line. Lions having their troubles with 12:17 to play in the first half. Replay on the punt. Mike Grubele is the Boston College man that is going to tip the ball. And once you get your hand on it, Frank, you can go ahead and flatten that punter.
That's correct. If the defensive team touches the ball, the kicker loses his protection. And number 51, Grubele, got his hands on the ball. He does rough the kicker, but it's no penalty.
And it's Boston College first down at the Penn State 36. Phelan and Brennan are the wide people. Caligana's in at tight end, and Flutie back to throw on first down. Gets it off over the middle. It's Brennan inside the 5.
From behind the defense, the post route. I don't know where the safety man Zordich was, but we have one-on-one coverage. The one thing that Penn State didn't want, Freehound was trying to cover Brennan, a mismatch in speed. Brennan is going to go down and inside. The safety man Zordich should have been deep. Remember, fans, he was a linebacker, we said earlier. You can see he was up in front. He should have been back playing center field. Completed pass and another scoring opportunity.
First and goal to go. Boston College, Penn State 5. Flutie hands to the fullback in the middle, Jim Brown. A couple of yards for Brown. Jack Bicknell there on the sideline.
This is where Boston College has had a trouble scoring from inside the 10-yard line. As we look at Jack Bicknell, he's really upset about the last play. It looked like they probably busted their blocking. It was a trap play right up the middle, meaning that the fullback was trying to punish the middle of the Penn State defense. Unsuccessful.
Startling numbers. Total offense so far. Boston College 250, Penn State 33. Second down and goal from near the 4. Flutie gives it to Stratford, running for the corner. Touchdown. It's Strong. Steve Strong, 33. That high jumper showed some speed, didn't he?
He did, Keith. What happened is that Strawn is going to start off tackle. Watch fans, watch him start off tackle and then bend it to the outside as Beestick makes the key block. Watch number 40, block 27, slider to the inside, and Strawn has the speed to race for the corner and make the touchdown.
With 11 minutes and 3 seconds to go in the first half, Kevin Snow trying to make it 21-0. Brian Brennan is your holder from the 10. The kick is good. Are you surprised?
Yes.
Welcome to the club. Steve Strawn's 4-yard run paying off for Boston College's third touchdown and a 21-0 lead with 11:03 to go in the first half. Kevin Bow and John Williams are the deep people, and Brian Waldron will kick it off for Boston College. With the wind, very high and very deep, Bow will not return it. Now let's go to New York and check in with Jim Lampley.
Pittsburgh just picked up a miracle victory over Syracuse. They lost the ball with less than a minute to go, got it back on an interception, then won the ball game on a 43-yard field goal by freshman walk-on kicker Pat Viancourt, the first field goal attempt of Viancourt's career. He was kicking because Snuffy Everett, the regular Pitt kicker, had missed 2 earlier in the game. Victory for Pitt, Keith.
Close call for the Panthers.
Penn State is starting on the 20-yard line for the 4th time in this ball game, and they've punted on each possession.
D.J. Dozier, the tailback, is hit behind. Scott Harrington, 52, penetrating along with David Thomas, and they knock him down for a loss back at the 17. I'll tell you this, when you get that Dozier behind the line of scrimmage, you have moved quickly.
Well, Harrington has the quickness. He played nose guard last year, was a linebacker, defensive end. As we look at that young man, Doug Flutie, one of the most phenomenal football players that I've seen play in a long, long time. Look at those numbers. How impressive can you be?
10.5 minutes to go in the first half as Doug Strang sets the task for Penn State. Goes short with it. Pass complete to Dozier coming out of the backfield. He fights up to about the 22, close to the 23. One of the things that's been impressive in the ball game so far, Frank, is the fact that Boston College has held up in the offensive front, leaving Flutie time to look. And when you give Flutie time to look and let him set, well, you see what's happening.
Well, it's a choice of 2 evils, Keith. You defend, he hits you. If you rush, then he really burns you. So that's what a great football player like Flutie can do to any defense.
They mark it just over the 20, and Strang getting pressure, jumps up in the air, throws it downfield for Bow, and it's off his hands incomplete. So Boston College defensively able to do what they had programmed as well. Get in Strang's face and hurry him. It was Ruth climbing all over him.
Well, Ratajkowski was playing Jackson and man for man. Made a great play. Forcing another punt. Give credit to that defense, Keith. As an old defensive coach, that is just fantastic what they've done to the Penn State offense.
BC with 9 people up there. Looks like they want to go at him again. Last time they tipped it. Nope. They peel back to block this time. Brennan backs up on it. He could not get to it. Has to let it drop, and it takes the Penn State roll and rolls down to the Boston College 33. Brennan had no chance that time to come up and accept the ball on the return. So it's a 47-yard punt with the roll. Battle of the Network Stars coming up on ABC on Thursday night. Howard and all of his pals from Hollywood. They do it every year out at Pepperdine, and they just flat have a ball. You'll enjoy it. 9:35 to go in the first half. Boston College going to work, leading 21-0 from the 33. They've got Stratford, number 23, in motion. And now, Doug Flutie, looking over the Penn State defense, went through a check and didn't like what he had going, so he spins the first time out of the ball game. 9:32 to play in the first half. See that pretty girl sitting right in the middle there, rubbing her hand? That's Chuck Howard, our producer's daughter, student at Boston College. It's getting cold, and they're talking about the temperature going down low 30s, maybe even a high 20s in some of the hill regions. And this is Bistek trying to break outside on the first down play, and he doesn't get a whole lot out of it. But he's bigger of the fullbacks. He weighs 235 pounds out of Meridian, Connecticut. And Maryland, North Carolina score is now 10-7 Terrapins as Carolina gets on the scoreboard. That game will have a far-reaching impact, as will that one. Look at Auburn laying it on Florida, 28-7. The ball game being played at Auburn. And Tron Jackson broke out today and had a big ball game for Georgia's 22nd consecutive victory between the Hedges and Athens. It's second down and 8 now from the 35 for Boston College, and Flutie straight back, and again no pressure, and he's passed to the sideline, good to Brennan, and it's good for a first down at midfield.
When you play Flutie, you have to decide what are you going to do. Now watch the cushion. This is what's wrong. Fruhan, number 93, watch the cushion he's giving Brennan. Fruhan's not even in the picture. Look how wide open it is. Gives Brennan a chance to catch the ball, turn downfield, and he comes close to breaking it for longer yardage.
He also came close to getting nailed on the face mask. Brennan's caught 4 now for 65. He's an incredible receiver. He's not all that big, but he's one of the best in BC history. First down snap from midfield. Again, no pressure on Flutie. Can't find anybody to throw to, and now takes off. And Doug is down to about the 41 and unhappy with himself because he lost his footing on the artificial surface here at Sullivan Stadium, and Radisek was able to get a hold of him and ring him down.
Penn State's game plan has really backfired. They wanted to keep the ball. They couldn't do it. The Boston College defense has outplayed them in every possession, and on the other hand, Boston College offense has completely outplayed the Penn State defense. You can see the Boston College possessions where they started with it. Very, very impressive for that so far in this first half.
And you've got 7:40 to go with the Eagles leading the Lions 21-0. Phelan goes in motion. Flutie getting heat this time, tries to dump it off. It's an incomplete forward pass. He saw big number 70. When Greg Gattuso gets started after you better find a hole to crawl into because he weighs 260 pounds. And the big guy was loose and coming, and Flutie tries to shovel it ahead to Stratford.
It's a tremendous play by Shute. He's going to get tackled for a loss on 2nd and 1, and he quickly just throws a ball like a shot put, and it's legal because it was a receiver, an eligible receiver in the area, goes as an incomplete pass. He avoided the loss. That was a critical thing.
And some abuse. Third down, a half a yard, over the top. Goes Steve Strong, the designated short yardage man, as Frank told you. Big junior out of Burlington, Mass.
Boy, he looked good going over the top. In the last 2 ball games, as Texas pulled it out, a victory over Texas Tech, 20-3. But Strong, I want to mention again, high jump 6'7" in high school, weighs 200 pounds, and he is a good short yardage runner.
Ball is sitting on the Penn State 38-yard line. First down for Boston College. Time remaining in the first half, 7-11. Holy Cross scored 70 points against Columbia today. Crusaders are going to play BC here in late November in this very stadium. That's downfield intended for Gieselman. And the pass is incomplete, and we've got a Penn State man shaking up some on the play. It looks like Gattuso is down. Gieselman was down in the seam. He was available, but the pass seemed to float some, and he could not come up with it. Greg getting up now, and he's got a hurt leg.
Penn State has changed their defensive strategy. As we look some more scores, Gattuso was playing a loose nose guard, dropping off and covering. Penn State was rushing only 2 people in the first quarter, fans. Now they've reverted back to a 4-man rush, trying to put some pressure on Flutie and make him throw faster before the patterns do develop.
Long season for the Golden Gophers, isn't it?
Oh, it is.
Second down and 10 for Boston College. Penn State 38. Ball comes loose, and it is recovered by Penn State. Pursuit from the blind side by Tim Johnson, 55. Flutie trying to option the ball and had no chance as Johnson wraps him up and knocks the ball loose.
Flutie has no idea that number 55 Johnson's right there. He just wraps him up high, forcing the ball out, and of course a great defensive play causes the fumble, and Penn State has a chance.
Joe Hines, a senior from Cleveland, Ohio, got it, number 52. And the Lions have the ball first down at their own 39 with 6:52 to go in the first half of play. 21-0, Boston College lead. John Williams, the tailback, goes up into a wing now. And Penn State took too much time, it would appear.
Keith, I think the lineman moved after he took his position.
Ball foul. Approachment red.
The defense charged across. I didn't see it. They moved and made contact with the offense.
That's good for 5 yards for Penn State against BC. It is the first penalty in the
Dead
football
ball foul. Approachment red. First down.
The referee is Raymond Bauer, umpire Don McDonald, William Cronin linesman, James Twitty line judge, George Cullen field judge, back judge, James Igizio, and the clock operator is George Hill. And it's first down and 5 from the 44 for Penn State. That's Peter Nickel carrying the ball, and Mike Ruth has a hold of him. Mr. Ruth is patrolling the middle today.
Ruth is the leading tackler, good, strong, intense football player. In fact, Jack McNeil told me yesterday he's the most intense player that they've got. But Keith, let me just say, as a coach, it's very critical that Penn State put something on the scoreboard on this possession, or at least before the half. They've got good field position for the first time.
Second down, 2. Strang gives to John Williams. And he's got his first down. His second effort got him up to the 49. Scott Harrington finally wrestles him down.
John Williams.
Looks like a first down from this angle.
John Williams, number 44, has had a good career at Penn State. This being his senior year, he wanted to come out and have his very best year, but he hurt his knee in a skiing accident this spring and then hurt his other knee after the season started, so he's had a tough time.
Bowl Scouts here. I was visiting prior to the game with folks from the Liberty, the Citrus, and the Hall of Fame. Citrus being what we used to call the Tangerine Bowl. Florida Citrus Commission got involved with it and added some $300,000 to the pot, so they'll get a pretty good payday coming up down there for their teams this year. From the 49 of Penn State, first down. Strang back. Gets it off over the middle to Kevin Bow. Bow loses his footing at the Boston College 45. Now let's check in with our colleague, Tim Brent.
Keith, they're working behind me on Greg Gattuso, Penn State's defensive tackle. You can see that they're taping his foot as we move in a little bit closer. What happened was he was stepped on, and he has a severe bruise right on the top of his foot. They are working on it. They have taped it. They're going to put his shoe back on. He's going back into the ball game.
All right, Timmy, thank you. Second down at about 4. Ball is just over the 45. First time Penn State's had anything going on the BC side of the field. They reverse it to Kenny Jackson. Jackson gets loose to the sidelines and picks up a Penn State first down. That stops the clock at 5:03 to go in the first half. Kenny Jackson, fast as anybody on the football field.
Keith, he's an All-American last year, fans. Consensus All-American, number 82. And Joe Paterno says his finest wide receiver that they've ever had at Penn State. He holds 22 school records, so that's an indication of just how good he is.
Ball is sitting at the Boston College 36. The first real threat of any kind by Penn State in the ball game. Boston College showing blitz. Now Diassi winds up again, and he's coming. and he got him. Steve DiOssi wound up, started too soon trying to anticipate. He had to back up and rewind his motor, and lo and behold, he came a second time, and he got the Penn State quarterback.
Well, just a relentless effort. Number 99, the middle of your screen, he gets blocked, he gets up, and he has the acceleration to come in and stop Strang from throwing the ball. He knocks him back, and a big play, something Boston College desperately needed at this time of the game.
I'll tell you, you saw some strength right there from Doug Strang, though, because he was in a full passing motion and had the strength in his hand to pull that ball back and hold on.
And how about the big hand, Keith, to grip around the ball to keep it from falling out?
From the 46, Strang drops to throw. On second down, he's got to pull it down and run to a safer place.